Gemma Arias-Vasquez strongly defends her record and that of government, while reinforcing the expectation that she is the heir apparent to Fabian Picardo. Nigel Feetham hails the highest ever tax revenues, but warns the UK's gaming taxes could hit public finances in future. The Shadow Minister for Public Finance questions the government-backed Community Credit Union scheme. The UK-EU treaty is debated in Commons. And how many of us are already thinking of Christmas cheer? Good evening. Numerous policy initiatives, most but not all relating to health, were announced in Parliament today by the Minister for Health, Care and Business, Gemma Arias-Vasquez. In a marathon speech lasting 4.5 hours and running to over 350 pages, Ms Arias-Vasquez strongly defended her record and that of the government, while reinforcing the growing expectation that she is the heir apparent to Fabian Picardo when the current Chief Minister does eventually step down.
On healthcare, her central message was that rising spending reflects rising demand, more complex cases and a determination to keep investing, rather than the cost-cutting approach she attributed to the opposition. To underline that point, she repeatedly referred to an alleged quote from Keith Sopardi, suggesting that some people would vote for the GST simply to keep the GSLP out, even if that would not guarantee change or ensure that social need received the priority it deserved. Ms Arias-Vasquez announced a recurrent GHA budget of more than £176 million, plus a further £3 million in capital spending. She linked that funding to a range of initiatives, including a second CT scanner, a new oncology unit, and a new 24-hour call centre, which she expects to be completed by the end of this year or in early 2027. A new purpose-built ambulance station is also being developed. She highlighted increases in staff for mental health services, while acknowledging that more still needs to be done in that area. Other projects include a new hospital entrance, further development of community and specialist services, and improved end-of-life care and support for frail older patients. The minister said the government will now proceed with the tobacco and vapes bill, describing it as one of the most important public health interventions the GSLP Liberals will deliver for future generations. The bill will make it illegal to sell tobacco products to anyone born on or after the 1st of January 2009. She expressed disappointment that 42 children remain in residential care, saying this was why she was making a major announcement.
Given the high number of children in residential care, the Cabinet has decided the government will look at different ways of offering placements at UK boarding schools for a number of children in the care of the care agency, where this is assessed to be in their best interests. This will not be for every child. This will not be automatic. It will be carefully assessed, professionally led, and centred entirely on the needs, wishes, safety and long-term well-being of each individual child. But for some children, Madam Speaker, this will be life-changing. We need to be honest enough to say that for some young people, the cycle they are in is not easy to break. Some of these children have experienced trauma, instability, and a level of disruption that most of us can barely imagine. They need safety, yes. They need care, but they also need an opportunity. They need structure. They need education. They need a chance to see a different future for themselves. And, Madam Speaker, this is what this policy is about. It is about giving some of our children in care an opportunity they may never have otherwise had.
On business, the minister announced a transaction tax transition support scheme targeted at businesses that can demonstrate they are materially worse off under the incoming regime than under the current one. She defended the new residency criteria, arguing that residents should be tied to genuine economic contribution. She rejected the suggestion that the measure is anti-business, insisting that being pro-business does not mean allowing artificial arrangements to be created simply as a route to residence. Speaking in her capacity as the minister responsible for the Electricity Authority, Ms. Arias-Vásquez said the recent power outages were unacceptable. Following the latest incident, the company operating the LNG facility, PX, has been commissioned to carry out a detailed assessment of the GEA, but the government isn't leaving it at that.
Madam Speaker, I will not dress this up. Some change is needed at the GA, and the government recognises that. The public expects that, and I intend to ensure that the change is delivered. Let me be clear, the government will not shrug its shoulders when things go wrong. We will ask the hard questions, and we will demand technical answers. We will bring in external expertise where required, and we will take whatever action is necessary to protect the reliability of Gibraltar's electricity system.
Ms. Arias-Vásquez announced a return to in-person meetings at the Development and Planning Commission, but did not give a date for this to start. She ended by saying she was proud of her work, not because it is perfect, but because it is serious, practical, honest, and moving Gibraltar in the right direction.
Minister for Justice, Trade and Industry, Nigel Feetham, says the government has delivered the highest tax revenues in Gibraltar's history. He has, however, also warned that changes to the UK's gaming taxes could hit public finances here in the years ahead. In his budget address, Mr. Feetham said tax receipts for the last financial year reached £533 million, the highest sum ever collected. While part of this growth was attributable to the increase in the corporate tax rate from 12.5% to 15%, the minister suggested the greater part of the story lay elsewhere.
It lies in stronger compliance, more effective administration, and the success of our efforts to ensure that big businesses generating significant profits from Gibraltar contribute fairly and lawfully to the public purse. Indeed, corporate tax receipts have risen by 19% compared with the previous financial year, and by well over 50% over the 2 financial years since 23-24. Madam Speaker, Gibraltar has never before recorded corporate tax revenues at anything approaching these levels.
Alongside those record tax figures, Mr. Feetham did warn that changes to gambling duty in the UK could put pressure on Gibraltar's gaming sector, with a possible £40 million impact on future corporate tax revenue. He said this reinforced the need to diversify the economy, although he stressed that gaming remains an important part of Gibraltar's economic base.
A further uplift of 32 police officer posts have been approved by the Chief Minister, increasing the establishment of warranted officers from 258 to 290, an increase of 12%. The recruitment of these officers during the second half of 26 will enable the RGP to deliver enhanced policing at the land border with Spain and at the airport in the context of the treaty. This is in addition to recruitment to fill the current 20 vacancies within the RGP with a new recruit school starting in November 2026.
The Shadow Minister for Public Finance used his budget response to raise questions over the government-backed Community Credit Union scheme, calling for greater transparency over how loans funded through the savings bank were being allocated. Roy Clinton referred to Companies House records showing mortgage charges registered against a number of local businesses and questioned why public funds were being used in this way.
And the charges that I found are against the following companies. This is all on the public record at Companies House. El Maltesio Limited, number 117932. Tapiero & Sons Limited, 119214. Buban Brothers Limited, 125097, and Metal Rock Limited, 01405. They're all parts of the same group. And but it is known in town, around town, that this group has been actively purchasing businesses in Gibraltar, including recently Britannia Premium Cleaning Limited, which we all know has the cleaning contract from the government. And Madam Speaker, the mystery is why? Why is the government providing money from Savings Bank to fund what is apparently a private gaming monopoly? Where is the national interest in this? Who's benefiting? Madam Speaker, it is obviously a mere coincidence that the lease on the GSLP premises at 239 Main Street was held by Tapiero and Sons Limited. People are asking questions, Madam Speaker, and they deserve answers as to why all this activity by community credit union is in the public economic interest, using savings bank money, which ultimately has to be guaranteed by the consolidated fund should anything go wrong.
Mr. Clinton also criticised the government's management of public finances, arguing that, despite record revenue, spending had significantly exceeded the approved budget. He said the forecast outturn represented an overspend of almost £188 million, which he described as evidence of poor financial control.
I can only describe this as a budgetary failure of gigantic proportions, and indeed would have been financially disastrous to our public finances if not offset by the unbudgeted additional revenue of £109.8 million and significant unbudgeted additional direct borrowing of £51.5 billion. To say this was fortunate is to underestimate and understate the dangerous and reckless manner in which this government has been managing Gibraltar's public finances.
Roy Clinton also criticised the government's proposed sovereign wealth fund, saying Parliament had not been provided with enough detail on how this would operate. He said that, for that reason, he could not support the appropriation bill. Following a visit to the Rock, members of the all-party parliamentary group on Gibraltar believe they have been able to give reassurances that there will be support for the UK-EU treaty in Westminster. During a debate in Commons yesterday, MPs called for scrutiny during the ratification process. Conservative MP Martin Vickers, who had secured the debate, said they came away with the overwhelming view that the treaty negotiations had been a success. He added it would be regrettable if the cross-party support the treaty enjoys in Gibraltar were not to be reflected in Westminster.
The familiarisation visit to Gibraltar, organised by the Gibraltar office in London, took place in May, with Baroness Elizabeth Sloss and Martin Vickers, the all-party group's vice-chair, meeting government ministers, including the Chief Minister, the opposition leader, Commander of British Forces and the Commissioner of Police. They also paid a courtesy call on the Governor. A report was produced following the visit. Mr Vickers told the House Commissioner Owain Richards recognises that there are a number of issues that require further consideration, but which the MPs feel are concerns that can be worked through. The main area of discontent was from the business community, but even then they say that although many of the retailers are not particularly happy, they recognise the overall benefits to Gibraltar. The Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs, Wendy Morton, asked for a timetable for scrutiny, saying that while no one wanted to delay the process, supporting Gibraltar and scrutinising the government were not competing objectives, but complementary responsibilities. And this is how the Minister for Europe, Stephen Doughty, summed up the tone of the debate. Reasonable, fair scrutiny with broad support. He said this sent a strong message of support to Gibraltar's Parliament. He confirmed ratification in the European Parliament would take place in the autumn right up to December, with the UK to operate under a similar timeline. The UK and EU, together with Gibraltar and Spain, he said, are committed to fully ratifying the treaty as soon as possible, with all sides working to achieve that. The treaty will be provided to both houses immediately after it's signed. Mr Doughty confirmed the UK's commitment to the double lock protecting the sovereignty of Gibraltar. He echoed Wendy Morton's assertion that the agreement was beneficial for wider relationships, saying the UK's relationship with Spain had improved, including cooperation in business, security and trade. The treaty, he said, is a crucial aspect in the UK's reset with the EU, which marks a turning point. Mr Doughty made reference to the Concordat, which will ensure the UK can only exercise its powers in the treaty with Gibraltar's consent, and that the people of Gibraltar have the right to determine in referendum whether the treaty should be terminated in future. He hoped it wouldn't get to that, but said it was important to have the safeguards in place. He quoted from a letter to the Chief Minister which said, "It's politically inconceivable that in any normal circumstances, should a democratically elected government in Gibraltar, or indeed the Gibraltarian people, determine this agreement did not serve their interests, His Majesty's government would not take action." The treaty was widely welcomed during the debate and across political ideologies, who welcomed that sovereignty and military autonomy are protected and that it gives certainty to Gibraltarians, providing a practical solution to the problems that have hung over the rock since Brexit.
You're watching GBC News. After the break, we move away from politics and budget with an appeal for witnesses by the RGP and vandalism to a navigating light out at sea. They're among the stories we'll bring you in just a short while. Back in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
The moments that matter don't wait for Wi-Fi. From sharing big news instantly to streaming your favourite shows on the go, your connection should always be there. That's why we've made our pay monthly plans bigger, giving you more data at the same price, so nothing gets in the way of staying close to what matters most. Visit gibtele.com or call 200 52200 to sign up.
There's been an issue processing your hotel deposit for your upcoming trip.
Take a moment. Because what matters most is worth protecting.
Our world runs on momentum. From the first light over the rock to the plans we make for the days ahead, each moment carries us forward. For 150 years, Gibraltar Insurance has moved with that energy. Rooted in Gibraltar, reaching the wider world, built on the past, and looking to the future, wherever momentum takes you next. Gibraltar Insurance will be by your side, every step of the way.
Trident is EORI ready for Gibraltar's new logistical chapter. As customs-approved transport and clearance agents with proven experience, trust Trident to keep your goods moving. Providing door-to-door transport, temperature-controlled services, warehousing, and customs clearances. Trust the experts, delivering since 1989.
If you have employees, then you have HR and payroll. And the computer software you use makes all the difference. EasyPay has been specifically designed to meet the needs of businesses in Gibraltar, whatever the size. For a free demonstration, call 200 741 21 and find out more online at easypay.gi.
Welcome to The Corner Shop, where expectations in painting and decorating go above and beyond, providing the community colour since 1947. From DIY enthusiasts to professional decorators, we offer trusted brands like Dulux, Armstead, Hammerite and more. Explore our expert colour mixing centre, plus DIY and decorating supplies. The Corner Shop, free parking and free delivery.
Welcome to SEPSA Gibraltar, your one-stop station for every journey. Refuel fast, recharge your EV and drive cleaner with our AdBlue service. Step inside Carrefour Express for fresh food, drinks and daily essentials. From road trips to quick stops, we've got everything you need, all in one place. SEPSA Gibraltar, powering your drive every day.
For more than 60 years, we've been there for the moments that have shaped our community. Through times of celebration and challenge, through historic events, unforgettable stories, and the news that mattered most. Generations have turned to us for trusted, reliable reporting, keeping you informed every step of the way. Today, that same commitment continues. Now you can get the latest local news, breaking stories, and important updates directly on WhatsApp. Trusted journalism since the 1960s. Follow our official GBC News WhatsApp channel and stay connected to the stories that matter.
Welcome back. The police are appealing for witnesses in connection with an ongoing investigation into a road traffic collision that took place around 9 a.m. last month on Wednesday the 10th of June at the junction of Grand Parade Car Park and Red Sands Road. The RGP wants to hear from anyone who may have witnessed the collision or who was in the area at the time and may have seen the vehicles involved either before or after the incident took place. The police say they would be interested in dashcam footage that may have captured the incident or vehicles involved, and in speaking to anybody who may have mobile phone footage that might assist the investigation. And the Port Authority is carrying out its own investigation after one of the cardinal markers by Sandy Bay appears to have been vandalised. The navigational light has been spray painted and broken and now filled up with water. The Port Authority reminded the public these lights are paramount to the safe navigation through Gibraltar waters and asks anyone with any information to contact them. Mariners should take extra care in the area. Now, it may only be July and it's very warm outside, but some people are apparently already looking ahead to Christmas, specifically the Christmas lottery, which is now on sale. Are you feeling lucky this year? Katie Docker spoke to lottery agent Alain Bautista.
Hola. 04229, please. Are we lucky?
It's never too early to dream. Christmas lottery tickets are now on sale, so will you be buying one?
Me and my friends pulled some funds to get a better chance of winning and everything, and just try our luck. So, yeah.
I normally have the same numbers which were passed over from my mother, and I carry on buying them.
And is that the same for the Christmas lottery as well?
Yeah, completely.
Have you bought your Christmas lottery tickets yet?
No, I haven't. I think they haven't come out.
Yeah.
Oh, they have? Okay. Okay.
This has been a family business since 1991, and my brother and I have worked in this shop, and we've been selling lottery since we were able to.
And do you yourself buy lottery tickets?
Yes, of course, yeah. The lottery is always fun, so I always try to have a good chance in winning.
And the Christmas lottery has been released, or the first batch at least. Tell us a little bit about why it's released in batches.
Okay, so the Christmas lottery draw is our biggest draw. That's the crowd favourite. So it's £1 million first prize. There's 100,000 tickets in total. So that goes up from 0 to 99,999. So there are many tickets to sell. So we've got until Christmas. There's plenty of time. Last year they were all sold out, so I'm guessing this year is going to be no difference. So they decide to release batches because obviously the lower numbers contain more fixed numbers. So these are numbers that people have been playing regularly for many years. So we start selling the higher numbers, and we start releasing them early and in batches because we want to start getting rid of some tickets, but not all of them at the same time, because obviously you can imagine if I have 100,000 tickets in this shop, there wouldn't be space for us to be in there as well.
Outside your shop, you've got a sign that says first, second, third and fourth prizes sold here. So do you think you're a lucky shop?
We're definitely very lucky. Yeah, we've been blessed with lottery luck. And this was the sign that you're reading was for the summer extraordinary draw, and we sold most of the prizes, so we're very happy. Obviously, it's the luck of the draw, as they say. So yeah, we're definitely very happy.
And do you get people coming back here who've won and telling you how it's changed their lives?
Definitely, yeah. It's always great to make the payments to the winners, and it's always good to hear how that it's helped their lives. It's funny because sometimes it happens with smaller prizes as well. I hear stories where people have been struggling for a few weeks, or something's happened, or maybe something's broken at home, or they've had a flood at home and they've had to, reform their houses, and that week they've won the lottery, or their boiler's broken down and they've won £500, or it's life-changing money as well when someone wins £1 million over the Christmas draw. So it's just great to hear how these things sometimes occur.
Well, that's all we have time for. You've been watching GBC News. Tonight's Viewpoint is presented by Jonathan Sacramento. He'll be with a panel of guests who are reacting to the ongoing budget. That's coming up next. From myself, from the news team, Good night.
Looking for insurance that covers every part of your life? From your car, home and motorbike to your health, pets, boat and travel, we've got it all covered. We make insurance simple, clear and tailored to you. Visit us at 68 Irish Town, Monday to Friday 9 to 5:30 or Saturdays 10 till 2. Call 200 44628 or email gibraltar@ibexinsure.com. Ibex Insurance, making life easier.
Hello, very good evening to you. The very warm or hot weather is going to continue through the rest of this week, this weekend, and into next week. Now, there is a lot of high pressure around across much of Western Europe, which is why it's so very settled for many places. And we have a lot of hot air across parts of France and Belgium, for example. Temperatures here around 8 to 12 degrees above average. And there's hot air feeding into the UK as well. Slightly less hot towards the south of Spain and around Gibraltar, but nonetheless it is going to be getting into the high 20s or low 30s most days, and we do have some cloud drifting in from the west as we go overnight, perhaps being a bit overdone in the graphics showing up behind me here, but nonetheless a bit of cloud first thing and then plenty of sunshine by the afternoon and more western areas towards the southwest of France, while here it is going to stay a bit cloudier. With all that sunshine, temperatures again getting into the very high 20s, perhaps low 30s Celsius, so feeling very warm if not hot. Like I say, the best chance of the sunshine will be into the afternoon and early evening, and then we go into another sunny day on Saturday. There may be some high level cloud around, so the sunshine could be a bit hazy at times, but on the whole a bright sunny picture with temperatures peaking around 29 Celsius. A greater chance of getting back to the low 30s by Sunday and through the beginning part of next week. Again, plenty of sunshine. Watch out for some high UV levels, especially if you're going to be out in the sun for long periods of time.
TCA, offering the best boiler service. Available Monday to Sunday from 9 AM to 9 PM. TCA, offering the best boiler service. Available Monday to Sunday from 9 AM to 9 PM.